going on, guys? It's your boy Big Blue Drew 97 here today to talk to you about My Hero Academia manga chapter 239 titled Succession. And when it comes to this video, it's going to be a little later than my other videos, and that's mainly because for some bad reason the chapter came out very late on Friday, which is fine. I'm getting the video out now, hopefully for y'all, so I can stay on that Friday schedule. The only problem is due to issues that have come up, probably dealing with a recent holiday in Japan, and it could possibly be dealing with the incident with Kyoto Animations. Natsu no Taizai, I think this is all connected. Like, Natsu no Taizai didn't come out this week as well for the most recent chapter, and this chapter was delayed, so that could be something associated with it. I'm not 100% sure. But luckily enough, I was able to, the chapter was pulled up, and basically this is just going to be the review. And can I just say, like, I think this was a very good chapter. First of all, the chapter starts off with basically Spinner as the narrator. He's basically saying, like, yeah, I don't know what's going on, I need to help, because the last time we saw him, he was stuck to like one of like the Liberation Army's heads, like on the van. He's just sticked inside, he's just running, and in the panels it's just massive chaos, and you just have like this funny scene of Spinner just sticking to the van, and then he basically gives this like monologue of like how he's going to basically like protect like Shigaraki and like trying to protect him, and, like, he has to get there, and basically how he tells about the story of like how all of this is going down, like what this will eventually lead to, which the conclusion of this fight is something that I say that I did not see coming, mainly because of like what happened in the last chapter. Well, to start off, Redestro is still alive, unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on how you look at it. But for me, I thought like Shigaraki killed him in the first thing, but in actuality he didn't. But Shigaraki is going all out, and probably when it comes to Shigaraki, when we first see him in this chapter, he just has this just menacing stare of just like I am about to kill someone type of stare in his eyes, and his face is like, it looks like it's shadowed in, but what it could actually be is just pure blood. And like he's just going through and he's just showing basically the city that they're in, to the point in which like people are like, Redestro, is he okay? Is he going to survive this? And then we basically like go into like somewhat of like a like not necessarily a monologue, but goes into like the thoughts of what's going on through Redestro's head, and or maybe Shigaraki's head, because we see him talks about how he'll be truly free, and what is possibly happening is like within those thought bubbles, it's him and all for one. I have to remember that, all for one. Basically, these are probably words that he's instilled with him, and like the idea of these words is that once you finally understand them, that's when you'll truly be free. And basically, with his quirk, it is spreading drastically through the ground. So what I thought was like that pain in his side, it's kind of what I thought. His lower body was being disintegrated, so that's what that pain was, like him feeling that disintegration through his legs up his body. But at this moment, like Redestro basically gets his entire suit, he jumps up off the ground to make sure that he doesn't get incinerated anymore, and he does something extremely smart that we'll get to as soon as it pops up. But then he does this, and you just see Shigaraki with just this menacing smile because he's enjoying all of this destruction. And then next thing you know, he starts yelling, "I'm going to break you," and just incinerates pretty much the entire downtown part of the city. And it's like scenes of just houses, buildings being disintegrated as it goes, and Redestro looks like he has this just just fear in his eyes. It probably, like, I hate to say this, you have Shigaraki looking the happiest he ever looked in his entire life, with like a big old smile basically doing this. Like, it's so great because it shows like his growth and how this is what he enjoys. He is the incarnation of destruction. And we get towards more to the final chapters, you see even more things destroyed, incinerated. Basically, everything is turned to ash. And then you see Destro looking out, and this is something that is established more. He's like looking out to the crowd, and another thing, apparently, what he does is that he sends out his like mechanisms, basically to save his like followers in a way, like make sure like they don't get decayed. And then and then we get to like the final, like towards the final scenes, because you see Gigantomachia and Destro in these panels side by side for the most part, and Gigantomachia is just looking upon all of this destruction. And this is something that's going to be established more. But like the one thing I want to talk to more about Destro came up now is that he was feeling that pain going up through his legs, possibly is what he was feeling. So the way that he frankly prevents himself from being disintegrated altogether is he cuts off both of his legs, which first of all just shows like true like the will to live, cutting off both of his legs, as well as like showing how deadly Shigaraki's ability is that the only way you can really stop it is to just detach that part of your body, which is just shows how overpowered he is now, and it also shows how Deku needs to be in the near future. And probably another great scene from this chapter is that you just get to see Shigaraki looks like he's bloody, he's broken, but he's approaching Destro, and you just see them not face to face, but like they're almost at eye level. Their faces are covered black, and during this entire time, Destro's stress gone. Like, I'm fairly certain what happened is that Shigaraki like destroyed the manifestation of his stress somehow. But besides the point, we get to this point and they're coming next to each other, they're looking each other eye to eye, and they both are smiling. And it's like Shigaraki is just so smug, and he says this quote, "Oh yeah, it was because you picked a fight with us." Talking to Destro, it's like they were like so confident in their ability to defeat the League of Villains, and then they just get destroyed. And all of a sudden, Destro's crew just comes in and it's like, "Come on, and it's like, Supreme Leader, this cannot be. Everyone, we must save the Supreme Leader. Everyone wants to save him." Then you just see Shigaraki just smiling. Like this entire time, he has this just grimace on his face, just like he is enjoying everything that is going down. To the point in which like the Destro's crew, like they physically cannot move. His actual just looking at them basically petrifies them to the point in which they cannot move. And what Destro does next is probably what shocked me the most. He gives up. He says specifically, "Trump, it is over." Like he admits defeat to basically Shigaraki, and he basically says that all of the soldiers that develop believers in me, like basically the idea is that he comes to the conclusion like, they didn't really believe in me, they believed in like Destro, like they didn't truly believe in my ideals. And he comes to this conclusion through his fight with Shigaraki, and basically it's like our history, our destiny, like basically trying to understand like what true freedom is. But he finally realizes what he believed that true freedom is through basically Shigaraki. Destro's like, "Yo, what you're really doing is pure freedom of your quirk." And like he realizes this when he sees the pure destruction that Shigaraki was able to cause and the joy that was in his face. At that moment, Destro was like, "Yo, this is someone that I can work under." And what's great is that Gigantomachia comes to pretty much the same ideal, because now he sees all for one in Shigaraki, and there's an image of Gigantomachia looking, and you just see like an image of all for one in like Gigantomachia's eyes. And like probably the best thing is that said by the Liberation Army is that the super power Liberation Army is yours to command. So he basically gives up his control of his entire army to Shigaraki. Spinner's like, he couldn't basically believe this. Gigantomachia starts crying because he's like, successor, because he finally admits that Shigaraki is a successor, which we see accepted him as his master. And probably the whipped cream on this cake is that Shigaraki without missing a beat is like, hey, you have a lot of money, right, Mr. President? And that is great because we see a flashback of Congress basically saying like, yo, if we had money, we could be eating sushi. And it's great to realize this because it means that Shigaraki actually cares about the League of Villains, because he's thinking like, oh yeah, we need money to survive, and my family is like, and they need food to survive, and we need money to get food. He's like, yo, since you're devoting to me, then what you probably should do is give us your money. And I think that that is just great development for Shigaraki. So all in all, I think this is probably just the cherry on top of basically the entirety of the villain of My Villain Academia. Basically, this is probably the last chapter, if not second to last chapter of this entire saga. So the saga of the villains is coming to an end. I do think that probably something major is going to happen within the next chapter or two, but like after this, everything is being wrapped up. We're probably gonna go back into present time, if not cover a few things that they probably did between this time and like when they recruited Hawks, because this basically takes place a month after or a month before like Endeavor killed that one Nomu and realized that Hawks worked for them. So this is all happening in the past. So meaning that at that moment, Shigaraki had the approval of the Doctor, the approval of Gigantomachia, and the approval of the Liberation Army. At this moment in time, in the present of my hero, Shigaraki is the most threatening person in the world, and no one knows it. And I think this is where My Hero Academia is going to get better and higher and greater. So without the way, hopefully y'all enjoyed this video, and hopefully you can catch me next week for my other review of My Hero Academia. If I were to give this chapter a score, I would probably give it more of a 4.5. I think it was a really good chapter, and I'm saving that 5 out of 5 for like an amazing chapter. So as I said, I will catch y'all guys later. Goodbye. Ooh. Oh! Oh!